I'm Lindsay, I'm a PR consultant from Scotland. You'll usually find me out jogging or making coffee or drinking coffee and out walking, especially early mornings. I'm all wrapped up out in all weathers, drinking coffee again, or I'll be talking to my many PR clients across multiple different industries that I work with. Always have to stop for a little lunch break, and my dad's soup is incredible, so that's one of my favourite things to do. And you'll find me plotted on the sofa, usually doing some work towards the end of the day as well. And in this video, I am going to talk about what actually even is PR. So make sure you stay tuned. Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's Monday again. That's how I start all my videos, pretty much by saying it's Monday again. What has this week got in store? Well, we'll find out, but it's going to be a bit of a disrupted one in terms of work because it's also the school holidays here for the next few days. So yeah, we've got school holiday duty to tie in with getting all the work done. So it just means, yeah, basically trying to condense it all into less time. So I was up early this morning, got started on a bit of work that needed to be done. I wrote a blog, I answered some emails, I chased up a few things. Then I'm just off a fast track PR session with someone who booked that session with me, where we basically talk through tons of ideas. They tell me about their business, they tell me what they want to talk about, and we come up with some messaging, we come up with some different angles, and then I go away and write a plan for them to basically take forward with some suggestions, some contacts if I can provide them, and so they've got a bit of structure and they know what their next steps are going to be, and then they can go and get on with some PR outreach to media, to podcasts, etc. themselves. I am heading out to a solicitor's appointment shortly, which is nothing to do with PR, but it's something that's just been taken years to get to this position, so hopefully we can get it all resolved soon. It's just to do with a property sale, and what else? Then I've got a call this afternoon about the crisis comms business that I also am part of, which is called StormSafe, and we help businesses basically prepare for things that might go wrong in their business, have an up-to-date crisis comms plan so that they know what to say, when to say it, who to tell, when to tell them, all that kind of thing. And it just means that they can handle the crisis, they can handle whatever happens and come out of it with minimal reputational damage, which is always the number one aim when you're in the middle of a PR crisis. So I've got a call with my business partner this afternoon on that. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to be sharing what actually is PR. And stay tuned because I'm about to pop up with what I think constitutes PR activities that will move your business forward. This week has mainly consisted of all the usual stuff, which has been working away on my computer, making notes and thinking of ideas for my different clients of all the different ways I can get them featured in the media and on podcasts and at events. And then I also went out to a little industry event in Glasgow, which was held in Princess Square at the Clubhouse, and it was to support a charity challenge that is being undertaken by a local guy. He's there in the kilt, he's going to be walking 3,000 miles to raise money for a mental health charity, and hopefully he wants to make it in time for Scotland's first World Cup match in America as well. So that was great fun. Okay, so let's just dive in. As usual, I am going to share what I know. I'm not gatekeeping anything. I'm going to make sure I just share what I know about PR so that hopefully it helps you understand a bit more about it and maybe even use it to your advantage. So I guess at its most basic level, PR is public relations, is what it stands for. It's really in every touch point that you have with the external world. So it's all about perception, your public perception, your reputation, and every time someone has contact with you, whether that's in person, email, phone, whatever it might be, they get a sense of what you're like, and that all feeds into PR. However, when it comes to business, I feel like there's, for me, 3 key PR activities that you can do to grow your profile, grow your credibility and your reputation, and grow your business. And they're the ones I'm going to touch on, and they're the ones I'm going to share with you in this video, and then in future videos, I'll go into each of them more in depth. So, I mean, if you're to go on TikTok or a lot of I guess they call themselves modern PR agencies, you would think that PR is things like unboxing, that it is gifting, that it's like appearing on red carpets, etc. And of course, there is maybe a little bit of truth in that these days. Maybe that is what PR is all about. For me, I suppose maybe just because I've been in the game for so long, it's much more about traditional mixed with new age. So the three main PR activities that I use to get my clients coverage and to grow their reputation and their profile and bring them business is 1, getting featured in the media, 2, being interviewed on podcasts, and 3, securing speaking opportunities. So the first one, media is a great way to build credibility, basically, because believe it or not, a lot of people still give a lot of weight to what they read in the media. And there's a ton of media out there still. You've still got the traditional, local newspapers, national newspapers, albeit they are shifting a little bit. They're going a little bit more digital, and they're changing slightly, but they still exist in the main. And then you've got lots of digital publications, specific niche magazines to cover all kinds of subjects. So there's a lot of opportunities still within media to, number 1, tell your story, number 2, share what you know, and number 3, give your opinion. They're the 3 main ways that I work on behalf of my clients when it comes to the media. So loads of media opportunities still out there, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because I literally find them for my clients every single week. And I'm not doing anything that's rocket science. It's just from researching, looking for them, pitching. The second PR activity that I do for my clients is getting them featured as guests on podcasts. So that is such an incredible PR tool these days because it doesn't take up too much of your time. It's a great return on your time. You can literally spend an hour recording a podcast, even doing it remotely, and you actually could be speaking to 100 people, 200 people, 500 people plus who are listening to that podcast. You're tapping into a ready-made audience that the host has already done the hard work to pull together, and you get to come in and show them what you know. So another reason is there's tons and tons of podcasts. They are so, it's just booming at the moment, the podcast industry, and it's not going to slow down. Every single day there's new podcasts coming out, there's new series coming out, there's just loads of opportunities out there. And again, they cover all subject matter. So there are podcasts out there that cover the thing that you talk about. And finally, why are the podcasts a good idea? Because people get to spend time with you. When you're a guest on a podcast, people get to hear your voice. They get to hear what you've got to say for minimum 20 to 30 minutes, maybe even up to a couple of hours they get to spend with you. And you get to show them what you know, which is really, really important these days. Because in a world where there's tons of people saying, buy this, buy that, trust me, I'm the best at this, we don't know who to trust, and we have to spend time with people before we decide that someone is worth doing business with. So podcasts, being a guest on a podcast, is a great way of letting the audience spend time with you and to show them that you are the real deal. And the third PR activity, as I mentioned, is securing speaking opportunities. That's something that I do for some clients, not all. Not all clients want to speak on stages, but a lot do. And it's really a tool. Obviously, in the ideal world, you get paid for speaking, and that can come further down the line. But initially, you use it as a PR tool, as a way of getting in front of people, as a way of becoming a better speaker, practicing. And that goes for also being a podcast guest. The more you do it, the better you get at it. So practicing your speaking, getting feedback, understanding what works, what doesn't, what questions you get from the audience. And it's a great way of proving credibility, even if you're just speaking to a small audience. Like a micro speaking gig might be a networking event, a community event, a small event within your area of business. And even though there might not be that many people in the audience, you can use images from it to show on your socials that you spoke on stage, that you had the microphone in your hand, and that people were listening to you. And that all adds to your credibility and this perception that you are someone that people listen to and someone that it is worth listening to. So that's the three main ways that I get my clients PR coverage. I help them move their business forward. I help them grow their reputation over time. You have to understand PR is not an overnight success. It's growth. It's growth over time. It's like investing in the financial market. You know, all the wealth gurus tell you to grow your wealth, you have to have time in the market. You have to invest consistently over time, and building your reputation and growing your PR results is exactly the same. You have to just keep chipping away over time, building a strong foundation that ultimately over time helps you achieve your goals. So PR is an amazing supplement to your socials, your marketing. I love all those things as well. And when you combine it all together, that is literally like the secret sauce, the magic potion. And PR plays a really big part in that. So if you've been overlooking PR in your business and thinking, I don't really know what PR is, or I don't know what PR activities I would even do, hopefully that has helped you a little bit. Hi folks, so it is Thursday. I'm just walking down the road, and yeah, one thing I've been thinking about this week is just how important it is to do that next email, to send that message, even when you think things feel a bit hopeless. In my job, I'm quite lucky in that I don't do a lot of outreach to get new clients. I'm lucky that most of my clients come from word of mouth, but what I do is a lot of cold outreach for my clients, to podcasts, to media, to events. And to be honest, it can feel a little bit demoralising at times. So if you've got a job where you have to do pitching out, or your business, you need to pitch out and contact people cold to get clients or to get customers, whatever it might be, then I really do know where you're coming from. And it can feel like it can get you down basically. And I always look at it like planting seeds, like I've said before. You plant the seeds and you just keep pitching out and you keep reaching out to the people that you want to, you know, have that particular outcome with. And at some point, one of the seeds at least will grow, hopefully more. You never know when the seeds will grow, and you never know how many. But this week I have had a client be accepted for a big speaking opportunity, and I pitched that at the start of the year, and I also kept following up. Last week I thought I'm going to send one more email because I thought I was being ignored at the time, and then I got a message from the founder of the event saying, yes, love to have him to speak. Amazing. Also, I've had a client this week who I've been struggling to get speaking opportunities for. I'm going to be honest, she's looking for paid speaking opportunities, and I have been pitching. And again, an opportunity just came up this week. Was it directly related to all the pitches that I've been sending out? Maybe not. But do you know what? I do think there's something in that energy of sending stuff out, doing the work, and somewhere the universe will reward you. Not always in exactly the way that you anticipate. Sometimes it'll be in a little curveball way. I truly believe in that. And I kind of learned this from an experience that I had when I was in my 20s. And I got some inheritance money and partnered up with my best friend's husband to buy a property in Edinburgh to rent out. Now, our budget by Edinburgh standards was absolutely tiny. We were very much at the lower end of the market. But in the job I was in at the time, they would get the papers in every day, and every Thursday one of the national papers had a supplement, property supplement. And in it I saw, I think it was like new builds or something. Basically, it was an estate agent selling some flats, and they said, all offers considered. Now, being young, naive, I rang up and I was like, saw your advert,
here's the budget that we've got. And he was like, no, absolutely not. That won't be enough. So he said, okay, thanks, bye. Well, about a week later, 10 days later, the same estate agent rings me back. And he says, if you're still looking for something, I've got a good potential scheme for you. So it was basically buying a property, handing it over to Edinburgh City Council, and they use that property to house people who need housing. And in the end, we bought the property he had in mind. We went on this scheme, and that was 20 years ago, and we're still on it. So, to be perfectly honest, if I had not just done that speculative outreach, it would never have happened. And it just shows you, just like, make the call, send the email, send the message, and it just might be worth it.
Oh, honestly, what a week it has been. It's been non-stop. I feel like every week I am like, I can't get much busier, and then every week I just seem to prove myself wrong. But I think this week it was even busier because it was also the school holidays for a few days, so there was like a bit of a juggle going on there, trying to be a good PR and a good parent all at the same time. So yeah, I also had an event this week. I also did one of my PR fast track sessions, which is a 90-minute session with me and a client, and then I put together like a bespoke PR plan for them after it. So it's quite time intensive. It's quite, it does take a bit of thought, a bit of time, but I love doing it. So I had that to do this week. I also started with a new client last week. No, it was actually just this week. And so I wanted to get off to a good start pitching out for him, which I have done. I think I've done quite a lot of pitching between, well, prepping the materials, what I want to say, researching some podcasts, etc. I want to really focus on podcasts and pitching. I've done lots of pitching this afternoon. I've done lots of pitching for another client who are hoping we'll do a little podcast tour in Dubai soon. I have been putting together a PR plan for another client because they've got lots of stuff coming up in the future. They're a finance company, and honestly, I can't even remember everything else that I've been doing. I have had some nice wins. One of my clients has been accepted to a great big entrepreneur festival later in the year as a speaker, which is incredible because he wants to do more speaking opportunities. I got another client, a paid speaking opportunity as well, which fingers crossed will go ahead. It looks like it's going to, so I'm really pleased about that. I have had some success with a client who was in the Metro last week, so that was a months in the making, to be honest, but it was a really good one. Hopefully tomorrow, some of my clients are going to be on TV. The local TV station wants to film them at an event that they're holding tomorrow, so I'm just waiting for confirmation of that this afternoon, hopefully within the next hour or so. So that will have to be a cliffhanger for next week, I'm afraid. And yeah, it's just been good. Honestly, that's all I can really think to say. My head is full of stuff this afternoon, and I'm going to finish off a few bits. I'm going to have a walk, get some fresh air, and then I'm going to see some friends tonight, and I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, bit of a headspace shift from all this PR stuff, which I love, but I find that I honestly think about my clients, I think about work a lot, probably way more than I should, but that's just the way I am, to be honest. So yeah, hopefully this has been a helpful video for you, all about what actually is PR, how you can use it for your business. What I do is not rocket science. I've said it before. You can do it. If you want to get into more media publications, get out there and pitch them. If you want to be on more podcasts as a guest, research them, find the ones that you think are a good fit, pitch them. Same if you want to be a speaker at more events, or even just start at micro speaking events, get out there, find where those events are happening and pitch them. That is literally what I do every single day. And sometimes it feels like you're getting nowhere, and then you just get that email or that message back and it's a yes, and it makes it all worthwhile. So honestly, give it a go. And I shall wrap it up there, I think, and I will see you next week.